welcome back to the show, mate. Start of the year. How are you?
I'm very well. Looking forward to 2026. I have a good feeling, just have a good feeling. Disclosure, we're going to get very close to disclosure. It's coming. It's just coming. I have a great feeling about it. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to today's podcast. Yes, right now I'm in LA, overcast. It looks like it wants to rain. So I'll be doing this interview. I'll be looking at my iPad. I'll be looking to my right, looking for helicopters, airplanes coming this way. Very slow day, nobody flying. But if they come in, I'm going to go out and press record and see if we can do some magic.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's perfect actually that you mentioned that. I'll overlay a clip now, but I was on the phone to Doc just the other day. I think it was Friday, and of course you had some action. So I would fully expect you to get some more while I'm doing this with you now, because this is the way it goes, right? It's been an interesting last year, you could say. Um, I mean, from the scientific group, the government, the public. Where do we even start? Let's start with Three Eye Atlas. What's going on with that? I know it's a lot of people, even Avi, is saying, look, it's likely natural, but the question mark is there for a reason, right? There's anomalies. Really strange. What's your take on that, Doc?
The whole thing is strange. It really is. This is something we've really never seen before. Here it is. It drips into our orbit and goes around the sun. It's giving off these green colors, and we don't have all the data. It could be given off X-ray spectrum. X-band, K-band spectrum. They're not going to tell us everything they know. I'm sure they have the James Webb Telescope looking at it in detail,
Yeah.
high resolution, and so it's a hard take. Who knows? It could be using the sun to recharge. If they're running on high voltage electricity, of course you're going to use the sun to recharge. We have videos of other vessels flying up to the sun,
Mm.
doing a quick induction and flying away. So we don't know. Did it just go around the planet or around the sun because the physics says it's supposed to, or was it getting a quick charge? The whole thing is kind of a mystery, and it helps when you have people on the inside giving you. But I don't have anyone in NASA right now giving me the inside
Sure.
411. So I'm on the fence. If I'm not sure, if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
It,
but
it it seems to me that everyone on just on Three Eye Atlas alone, it seems to me that everyone's just sort of educated guess, based on what they're seeing. Um, I just don't recall any comets having those kind of anomalies, the forward-facing tail, the multiple jets, the wobbly jets, the different colors, like you say. The trajectory is one thing, yeah, but it's a question mark that I'm even on the fence with as well. We've also got the Giza Pyramid, which I think was discovered before Three Eye Atlas. Um, Amazing structure, like coils underneath the pyramid. Looks like columns, circular columns that lead down to another mega structure below that. Again, I've got to ask you, Doc, because people want to know, and you don't talk about these things on your channel. I know you're very dragon focused, and it's research that someone needs to do. So I'm glad you're doing it, but I've got to pick your brain.
yeah, well, that one, maybe I can put my 2 cents in on that, because I did see that when the photos first came out several months ago. And of course, you see new things at first, and you're not sure. But for me, I process the image. It's always running in the back of my mind, like a task manager. It's always running. And just last week, I said, you know what? There's a science. There's a science known as the Seebeck effect. And that's basically you take two different metal alloys, could be iron, copper and aluminum. You put them together like a sandwich.
Mhm.
You put it in fire, and it generates electricity.
Right.
Fire or heat. That's what we were just talking about earlier about Three Eye Atlas. You get close enough to heat, you can generate free electricity. Heat, Heat is energy. Heat is basically electricity. It's
Mm.
the easiest way to look at it. So the point is, with those columns under the pyramid, what if those are metal alloys? Copper, looking back at the time, they'd be copper, steel. Not, there wouldn't be aluminum, not likely, because you need electricity to manufacture aluminum. So not likely, but copper, steel, and bronze, maybe they were ahead of us on the Seebeck effect. They were using that to create a current. And I've always thought the pyramids were, something's going on here. They're an energy machine. They might be a time traveling machine, but you need electricity for all that. So yeah, I think that's where it's slowly going to go. Of course, they're going to have to go down there, look at the columns, analyze it, and just see what is it made of. I don't think it's just made of rock and stone. I don't think it was
Yeah.
put there to support the pyramids. In other words, although it would be incredibly advanced engineering, because that's how
Yeah.
we build high rises now. We build high, but no, I think there's some Seebeck effect going on here. Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely
and
feels
yeah,
like old technology, but somehow more advanced.
well,
You know?
also you have to factor in the slight possibility that whoever built these thousands of years ago were planning something in our future. In other words, that we're going to need access to some type of advanced technology that these pyramids have and we don't have. So it's possible they were planting seeds. Those were seeds planted 4, 5, 8,000 years ago. They're going to generate a frequency, a current, something we don't know yet, and it's going to help us. Yeah, we have to consider that. It's just, we just can't look at it and say, oh, that's old technology. It's irrelevant. It's anything but irrelevant.
Maybe that's why they don't want us to dig, because it has to stay intact. And that's the irony of the whole thing, you
Yeah.
know?
And then we're back where we started, like
Yeah.
not making any progress. And which fortunately, which this whole channel, my channel is about, I'd like to see us figure out what these UAP dragons are, how they're operating, take
Yeah.
that knowledge, apply it to humanity, and so we can get ahead, so we can just really start advancing and move in the circles that these UFOs, these UAPs live in. Want to live in that orbit. An orbit where you go to the hospital and you're cured in 30 minutes, not for the next 10 or 20 years, but you're cured in 30 minutes. They take an incredible, with their technology, you can take a X-ray resolution, an MRI, a CAT scan. I mean, you could to the atom. You could see to the atom, and then effectuate a cure very quickly. Maybe I'm living in a fantasy world, utopia world, but as a pharmacist, this is what I want, the healthcare standard that I want to see happen.
That would be amazing. If we got that, or
I,
even just 10% of what you're talking about, then out of this topic, that would be amazing. That's the goal, isn't it? That's the goal to
that's the
create a better life on this planet. That's the goal.
that's the
Just staying on topic, Giza structure, the underneath structure. I mean, what's on top is amazing, right? Whatever's underneath, the fact that it's placed there speaks volumes. The fact that it's even there speaks volumes. We can speculate over what it might be. But then you've got another one, Doc, I'm going to bring up now, the Buga Sphere in Colombia. Now, that thing is, I don't know how much you've looked into that, Doc, but that thing's been tested vigorously by scientists, obviously over in Peru and Mexico. I know that quite a few well-known podcasters now have gone over there, seen it with their own eyes. Jaime Musan, he's been on the case, interviewed a lot of people, been on a lot of channels. What's your take on the Buga Sphere? Do you think it's ours or do you think it's theirs?
I think it's real. I think it's real. And when you say ours, human, no, not likely human. No. Uh, I've been thinking about this over the last year, and when I look at it, I get the instinct that it is real, but it's old technology. In other words, it's the Model T of anti-gravity. In other words, like if you go to an alien museum, you would see something like that they invented 10,000 years ago. So I think they took one of their old spheres and gave it to Earth, brought it here, and they're saying, here, play with it. It's,
Mm.
we made this 10,000 years ago. And ironically, they're saying it's 12,000 years old.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So, uh, yeah. And for what it's worth, the Blitz, remember the Blitz sphere, 1970,
Mhm.
Florida? It's
Yeah.
very similar technology. So it appears that these ETs are talking to us. They're saying, look, we're really trying to push you in the right direction. We're giving you a tailwind. Travel north instead of east, and you'll figure things out quicker. And check out this technology, X-ray it, analyze it. It'd take us in directions we would have never thought of.
Yeah.
And
I felt
so
it does feel like a present to Earth, doesn't it?
it's
Because they're already talking about when this thing tilts, it starts to hover, and that with Doctor Yu's analysis of the spinning and how that could be the anti-gravity effect, which we're seeing already. Just on the findings, we're already starting to build a picture which could spell something amazing for the future.
and the final analysis, what it comes down to, all UAPs, UFO technology, they deal in a realm of extreme high voltage. That's how they do what they do. They don't fly for free. They don't have any smoke and mirror magic. It's not kerosene, not rubber bands. It comes down to electricity. Electricity being universal, planets, orbits, kinetic energy, storms, uh, ionic propulsion. And they got it figured out on a very obvious at a level that's incomprehensible right now, and that's where we need to be. That's
For
where we
sure.
need to be.
For sure.
Yeah.
If
So
only we can only pray again, just wanting a better world. Nazca Mummies, Peru, the little grey dudes or the little mummified figures that keep coming out. I'm overlaying stuff as we're talking about this because there just seems to be new mummies coming out every other month, and we've had a new one come out recent. Again, what's your take? 4,000, four and
okay,
a half thousand years old, apparently.
boy, I think that's outside my scope, but it has to be considered. It has to be taken serious. Until you can prove the opposite, it has to be taken serious. Yeah. So maybe again, it was all planned. Somebody buried those things 4,000 years ago, knowing that we would find them today. Remember, time travel is not that hard. Once you have access to that technology,
Mhm.
it's not that hard at all. So they plant that knowing that in 2026, 2025, we dig it up.
Well,
That's how we have to look.
it wasn't just bones even, was it? It's like they've tried to preserve what's there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're right. It's like they were there for someone to find eventually,
Well, they had it figured out.
like the
Well, they did.
pyramids.
They like the pyramids. Yeah. I mean, it took us to what 1850 to figure out how to preserve the body, but they had it figured out before that. So
It's
we just
amazing.
have to be open. The universities have to accept the challenge, do a CAT scan, MRI, DNA sequence, etc. Again, this is a sensitive balance because if the information is real, then the government says no, we're keeping this. We're not sharing this. So it's exactly the opposite of what we want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The most amazing finds, and we just want all the information, and this is the one topic that they will definitely, most definitely want to hide. The public, what they're doing now. I know you're being sent a lot. I mean, your emails must be going off every day, every week. Mine are as well. Um, aren't the public doing an amazing job at the moment?
Far more than I expected, really. I went into this saying, I'll share the information. I'll do my best to convey what's going on and hopefully motivates other people to give this a try. Uh, I really, honestly, I didn't think they'd do a better job than I'm doing, and they are. In a way, I'm like here. I invented a new game, a baseball, and so you take the bat and you hit the ball and you try to hit it over the fence. And we've got viewers coming along and they're hitting that ball way over the fence, just like that. Just like
Into the pond. Yeah.
what I'm really pleased about it. And
Yeah.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. Uh, so these small, fast moving, I call them dragons because I thought they were dragonflies 8 years ago. They had to be a bug. It's ironic, but if we, once we get going, and I know this will happen, we'll have a contest, video dragon contest. Who can get the best video?
It's already
Uh,
begun, Doc.
it, it's and the irony is, I won't even win. I won't even
No,
win my own contest
I won't.
because
I thought me and you had it down. I thought, and then I started getting them a lot clearer out here, and I thought, I've got this down. But I don't think I can keep up with the likes of Ben in Oklahoma. Ben in Cornwall's doing some crazy tests at the moment as well. Roger McDonald over in Hertfordshire in the UK. Um, I
yeah,
can keep going. I can keep going. I'm sure you're the same. You can keep going with your viewers as well.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
being outdone, but it's good.
It's a good thing,
Yeah.
right? It's a good thing. It's like, so I encourage people, take your phone, turn it sideways, record helicopters, take the Dragon Challenge. It's free. It's free. Some people say, well, I'm a little embarrassed. It seems silly. No, once you record your first dragon, it's not silly anymore. And they're everywhere. They're
Yeah.
everywhere. So let's take advantage of it while it's still going on. I don't think these dragons are leaving, but still, you want to record. You want to be on the side of history. Well, of course, you want to be on the right side of history, but also you want to be on the right in the beginning of the right side of history, and because in the future,
For sure.
your children, your grandchildren will say, "Hey, you know, do you remember when all that first happened? All that dragons, those dragon videos started popping up. You know, what do you remember from that?" And you could say to them, "Actually, I was there. I was part of it. I
That's my
recorded."
video. Yeah, check this link out. This was my video 10 years ago.
Yes,
Yeah,
10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I posted this 40 years ago. So you're part of the history. You're like you're there. You're in the construction
yeah.
of the right side of history.
I tell you
And
what,
you
Doc,
kind of
certain
do.
individuals have already solidified their place in the books. They have.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And we're just talking about our group of people. We're not even talking about, there's a whole other group of people out there that we don't even know about that are doing the exact same thing, I'm sure. Other people are in different areas. This is a very vast topic, and it will take all of us to build the pieces, you know?
There's
Um,
a there and there are people recording these, but they're not telling anyone right now because they
mhm.
don't know what to do. They're on the fence. So there's a lot of other good video out there. I had somebody 2 months ago send me a picture of a B-2 bomber with a dragon behind it, and you can see the white ghost X-ray silhouette. The white ghost, because these things are running on high voltage, they fly behind the aircraft. The
You could
gamma
see it.
rays
You
still.
could see it behind the bomber
Yes,
and through it.
a white, yeah. This was a couple months ago. And he didn't want to post it. He shared it with me. I said, okay. I mean, it's a great photo. And then just yesterday, I'm like, because I'm like, you know what? I need to look at the Pasadena parade a few days ago.
Hmm.
The big parade, the flyover. They always have the bombers, the B-2 bombers. It's kind of like free dragon video. If you just look at their video, and it's only been a few days. Not everyone has posted yet. I would wait another 10 days and then check YouTube. But anyway, I just typed in flyover, Pasadena flyover flybys, and I couldn't believe it. A B-2 bomber flies by and a dragon flies behind it, and you can see the white ghost image of it.
Just
I'm speechless.
brazen.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm speechless. It's over and over. The science is repeatable, just over and over. It's like putting water in your freezer to make ice cubes. The science is repeatable.
I mean, it's backed as well, Doc. It is backed by people silently. I say that because they mention it once or twice and they don't mention it again. You know, people like Gary Nolan, he says these things are real, they're not bugs 100%. But he won't go into specifics because He knows they are everywhere, and it will just either create panic or speculation or whatever. Something that will generate a lot of heat as well for saying it, because as you know, it's very hard to accept.
It is, it's hard to accept. It's tricky. If you give it time, if you give it 100 days, if you record your first UAP Dragon video, give it 100 days, the uncertainty goes away and your curiosity takes over. You become very curious. You want to know what these things are doing, what's going on here, how long has this been going on, how is it, are they all over the world? And they are, yes, and they're baitable and they're predictable,
Crazy.
and that's how you find them so quickly. So if you and I were to just throw away all our dragon videos today, say the government was said, okay, delete everything you have, in a year we would still have over 1,000 videos.
More, yeah. That's why they don't tell us to get rid of it, because they can't stop us from getting a camera out.
Well,
Simply,
it would only create a horrific problem for them, because if they
yeah,
said get rid of it, then now you have 10
it's,
million people recording helicopters.
yeah, it's an
And now
admission.
you have, right. And now
Yeah.
you've gone from 10,000 videos to a million dragon videos that are floating around. It's
Well,
so you,
that's going to happen anyway with people capturing sources and white orbs and stuff. It's going to
right.
happen anyway because people want to capture a UFO UAP, and then they're going to start seeing the dragons flying along these things, and like it's already happened. It's already happening every day, even in London.
Abs-
And I'm not allowed to show it because it's on a set, right? But
wow.
they're there. Um, and it's yeah, it's just another one of those things. You reminded me of something when you mentioned the parade. Um, only because you said something beginning with P, and it just sparked a memory. The Palisades fire, the one that affected our good friend John and loads of other people along that coastline, a huge fire. You were right there. You had it on film right from the get-go. You know, you were filming hours on end during
Yeah.
that time. Say it in your words, Doc, because you mentioned something to me the other week regarding the fire, regarding the land specifically. You thought the CIA were up to something, and you were speculating on why the water didn't get to the areas that it needed to get to. And now obviously we're at this stage where now you're speculating what's happening to the land afterwards.
Well, it's outside the scope, of course, of the UAP Dragons. But yeah, I was sitting here doing a podcast with someone else, and I look out the window and I see a little smoke on the mountain. I go, hey, by the way, there's the fire on the mountain. And I just turned my camera on, and of course, my roof camera caught it from the very beginning. And we did the podcast for an hour, and then when it was and every 10 minutes I give them an update. I look out the window and I'd go, oh, it's doubled in size, and every 10 minutes it would double again, double again. And I don't know, maybe they thought I was joking. And so at the end, I took my computer out and I showed them, and then they just flipped out because at that point you couldn't see the ocean anymore.
Too much smoke,
It,
yeah.
yeah, it's very bad. So uh whole whole thing. I mean, like I said, geez, where do I even, so literally it's a big problem right now in Los Angeles. It's how do I explain this without inserting myself into this crazy narrative? But basically, there was a reservoir there, 120 million gallons, that was built in case there was a giant fire in the mountains there at the Palisades. I think it was probably 60 years old offhand, built a long time ago. And they said it needed repair, so they had to drain it, which other experts have said, no, you could have did the repairs without draining it. And so they drained the water out, and they kind of left it that way. They didn't like try to fix it within 1 week and fill it back up. So it was empty for like a year. Uh, so sure enough, the winds come along, which is this time of the year. The winds are going to come along, and you're hearing all these different stories. You're hearing all these different, uh, but the winds came along, and at that point there was no water in the reservoir. And the more homes that burned, their pipes broke, and then the pressure got weaker, weaker, and weaker, and then it was down to you couldn't brush your teeth because there was no. So it's, you can't make this stuff up. The bottom line is there was no water in the reservoir. You can't put out a fire without water. So I mean, it's current right now, but the mayor is asking for the fire chief to fix the situation, if you know what I mean, sign some documents. And from what I understand, we've gone through 3 fire chiefs right now that don't want anything to do with that, and they've quit. It's
Wow.
it's not good. It's not a good situation. It's really, really bad. I've gone up there. I've looked around. Uh, it used to be, well, it was basically one of the most nicest, expensive neighborhoods in Los Angeles. Um, you don't want to live up there right now. It's like living on the surface of the moon. It's just a giant gray zone, a
Yeah.
gray zone. And if you have a house, then you look around and there's no one around you for thousands of feet. It's suspicious because let me tell you how home building works. Uh, the 2 big commercial home supply people in America, and they're worldwide too, Home Depot and Lowe's. But Home Depot is really bigger. Lowe's is nice, it's more high end, but Home Depot and Lowe's. The point is, these uh, outlets, they open 5 years before new constructions, before new cities are built, because they know, they're friends with City Hall. They know where city planning is going to be in 5 years. So
Sure.
they literally built, like right here in the marina, they built a Home Depot 5 years before all this new construction started. And the new construction was massive. It was a 20-year project. Started in, wow, it's hard to believe. It started in 2000 and it finished in 2020. But the whole point is they were there in 1995. They opened. And I was like, why are you opening in the middle of nowhere? They knew. They knew they were in the center of it all. They were not in the middle of nowhere. The whole point is, if the government was serious about building the Palisades, they would have a Home Depot there already open.
Mm.
There,
Crazy, yeah?
there's
But
nowhere to buy supplies.
what's actually happening with the land and the homeowners then? Like the ones that
I
have lost their homes now, what are the government doing?
Okay, so we every now and then we run into somebody in the neighborhood that moved to the marina, and they're like, "Well, it's been 11 months. 11 homes have received permits to build. 11 months." Because back in the day, in the very beginning, I mean, the president said, "Issue emergency permits for everyone to build, fast track it." But the last I heard, I met a lady at the market at Whole Foods. She said, no, 11 houses, 11 permits. And now there's a lot of talk. They want to use that land for low income. They want to build low income housing. And I get that. But the people really should have first choice to rebuild their homes. And apparently, they're not being given that choice.
Wow.
Several have just said, "I'm selling my land. I'm giving it up. They're just going to leave California." Uh, and now there's talk about Rockwell, BlackRock, a derivative of the CIA. They kind of want to come in and buy everything. It's a land grab. It's not good. It's not good. It's some would say, well, you're a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm a realistic.
I mean, if it's happening,
I if it's happening, yeah. The bottom line is, Robert, I don't see Pacific Palisades coming back.
wow,
It's gone. If it
that's
comes,
sad. I mean,
You know
that's so
what,
sad for
Andy?
the residents there.
It's it took 60, 70, 80 years to build the Palisade. I don't see it coming back. There's by the way, I know you'll say what's the use, but there's still no water in the reservoir right now. Not that it would do any
I mean,
good, but
no, but I mean, I mean, they're going to do
it's
something with the land, right? Eventually.
eventually, yeah. And then there's this back and forth. They're saying, well, it was the fireworks. A week before the fire, there were some fireworks, and the fire department put the fireworks, put the fire out. And now there's a rumor. Well, no, the Palisades was started by those fireworks from a week ago. But then it puts the fire department in a bad position. Like you didn't put the fire out, so you're responsible for the fire. So it's going to get ugly. It's
Mm.
it's it's not a good story. It's going to get ugly. It's
Ay,
one of
ay,
those.
ay.
It's going to be very slow motion. Just things are in very slow motion. I don't know where it's all going. It might, you have to think long term. Something like this happens, it might be a land grab because of events in the future. You have to always look in the big picture, not just 3-dimensional. You have to think 4-dimensional. You have to think, well, if the government wanted this land, why would they want it? Do they know something about the future?
Mm.
And they're going to need to relocate. You have to think in these terms. The world's kind of crazy. Uh, I know something about time travel, and I'm seeing things that are concerning. And I think possibly the government just wants to have their cards all lined up for the future. In other words, they want to have really nice land to build new locations. Who knows? Maybe build new government offices. It's hard to say. Up in the mountains there, that's a nice location to build uh, uh, Air Force base, a small Air Force base. Uh, uh, who knows? A new government facility, CIA.
I mean,
It's
it is off the
and
coast
then
right there.
this is just not random speculation. I mean, I know somebody who's friends with a time traveler that works for the CIA. And then plus I was good friends with a time traveler. And I spend my life connecting the dots. That's how I figured out these UAP dragons. Took the best science that I have, Western science, everything you could learn from being a pharmacist, and then you study Eastern science, and then you try to see patterns that are not there. And it's concerning. It's just, I hope I'm all wrong. I hope I'm reading everything wrong, but it's concerning.
So this is literally my favorite part of the whole thing, Doc. Your best friend, the late great, and in my opinion, likely one of the most sought after people on the planet, Glenn Falkenstein. If I'm sure I've just said that name, and for anyone that doesn't follow you and they're following me, they may have heard that name and they've gone, where do I know that name from? Because he's one of those names where I think a lot of people have heard of Glenn Falkenstein, but he's not spoken about enough. He's not talked about enough, and therefore people can't put two and two together. Okay, so Glenn Falkenstein was a very, very talented person, a magician in the entertainment world, you could say. But you knew him as a personal friend. You knew him on a whole different level to everyone else. And I really want to dedicate this next sort of half an hour to Glenn by telling his story, sharing some of his audio clips, and through your lips, Doc, through your eyes, through your ears, through your lips. So go ahead, Doc, and tell me how you met Glenn. Just start right from the beginning, buddy.
Okay, so this is a lot. So what I'm going to be conveying a lot of information, and I totally get it. If this is hard to take in, understand, accept, it's like going back to 1950 and showing everybody your iPhone. and say, look what I have, look what it can do. It's too hard to take in. I get that. And then, so here I am, I'm talking about these small, fast UAPs flying around. That's hard to take in. That's hard. And now I'm talking about this gentleman, Glenn Falkenstein, who was born with this impossible gift, impossible, and yet he had it. And even more impossible, I was friends with him, which makes no sense. So I'll convey as much information as I can. But basically, this gentleman was born 1932, February 3rd. He was born with this ability, when his eyes were closed, only when his eyes were closed, he could see the answer or to any question in the universe, 100% immediately, instantaneously, which means anything in the past, anything in the future. So it would be no problem for him to, if you were to call him right now and say, if you wanted to test him, you could say, because he's here in Los Angeles, you're in the UK, you could say, Glenn, I have a couple of things in my pocket. How much money do I have in my pocket, Glenn? He'd tell you exactly, instantly, to the penny, instantly. He'd tell you your address, your social security number, your work ID number, your state number, the hospital you were born in, the name of the doctor that delivered you, where the doctor lived, what his phone number was. It was an impossible gift.
Do we know each other?
No.
No.
Never met. I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right.
It's my pleasure now.
It's okay. I'm picking up some very interesting vibrations about you. What does SOG mean to you?
That's my name.
Yeah. SOG. All right, let's see if I can't, because I can see you. Do you work for the government of some?
Yeah. Yes.
You do. The Postal Service.
Yes, sir.
Yes. in Downey.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm picking up some other very interesting things about you. You have two children?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are they girls?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who's from Armentia? I'm picking up. Oh yes, I'm picking up an automobile. Is it a T-Bird? You drive a T-Bird?
Yes, sir.
Is it a 55 T-Bird?
57.
57. Well, I was
You're
close
close.
enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you very much. Very interesting fellow. All right. You're listening to the Glenn Falkenstein Show live from Universal Studios.
I mean, I kind of knew it at the time, but I didn't know it. It was, it's one of those things where like, oh, this guy's really talented. I want to get to know him. And that's what I did. And because in my mind is like, when I'm really good friends with him, I'm going to ask him 10,000 questions. Well, I became really good friends and I let it pass. There are 10,000 questions I should have asked. I let it pass. But knowing him over the course of 20 years, 25 years, I did learn some interesting things. Yeah. So we're gonna bounce around back, but we're gonna time travel backwards, forwards, backwards, and forwards. He did a radio show in 1974 right here in Los Angeles at NBC Universal Studio Tours. It's like a place you go hang out for the day, like Disneyland, take the family. It's kind of cool, see movies made. And I think I went there myself, like in 1972. My dad took me. So sure enough, he did this radio show there. He was really well known in the industry. And he basically, they gave him an auditorium, I think it held like 800 people. He'd go, okay, come on in, come on in. Okay, you could ask me all the questions you can want. We'll take phone calls. People call in. We'll answer any question you want. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. So obviously people were there. Oh, remember, he had to be blindfolded to do this. He couldn't do it with his eyes open. So they blindfold him, and you would think it'd make it harder, but it made it easier. And like I said, anything you could ask, he could immediately answer. And of course, he's being telepathic. So he's telepathic. He could see the future. And that's what I mean, God knows what else he could do that and so I'm going to be all over the place, but just to give you some examples. And he had, being a time traveler, he did record all the radio shows. He was there for 1 year. He put them all on cassette tapes. I have the tapes. I kept bugging his wife because he passed away in 2010. I say, Francis, can I have those tapes? Oh, yeah, I'll get to it. A year go by. Francis, can I have those tapes? And I was persistent. And after 5 years, she says, here, Robert, here's just take them.
Get off my case, Doc.
Yeah. But I want to go back and ask her, are there any more tapes? Is there anything I should know? Because this is gold, this is platinum, this is So I've been able to go through half the tapes, about 6 months worth, digitize them, write things down. I still haven't, God only knows what's in the other 6 months of treasure. But he talked about the future, just to give you a clue of what we're dealing with. We're just not talking about smoke and mirrors. He never called it magic. Other people called it magic. He didn't disagree with them. If that's what you want to think you're seeing, fine. But he never said, I'm a magician and I'm the world's best, nothing like that. He played it down, like Invisible. A little bit like a little bit of a disservice to humanity, you might say. So to give you a clue, a lady would call in, or this gentleman called in one time, said, Glenn, I don't believe anything. I don't believe you can read minds. I don't believe all these predictions. They got to be fake. He said, Glenn, if you're real, you tell me right now, where am I? Where am I right now? He's calling from a phone booth. Okay, Glenn goes, oh, okay, all right. You're calling me from a phone booth in Long Beach, California. Did you spend the day with your family in Disneyland? The guy hung up. Yeah, just like that. It's like, give me something hard. Come on, give me something hard. People would call in, okay, Glenn, I hid something in my house. Where is it? He first asked for permission. Can I go over there? Yeah, you come over. He goes, oh, okay. Oh, you hit something in the bench under your piano. Oh, yeah, it's a bottle of perfume, right? Yeah, that's right. He never got it wrong. He was never wrong, never wrong. Check this out. This is, lady called in, said, Glenn, I got a problem. My sister's missing. I can't find her. She's gone. She's gone? Glenn, can you help me? Yeah. She's at this address in San Francisco. She's living with her aunt. Give her a call. A month later, the lady called back, said, hey, Glenn, thank you. You were right. I found my sister. He goes, yeah, no problem. Anytime that happens, just give me a call. And I'm thinking, anytime that happens, give me a call. What the?
This is like way above Jetson level now. This is like when you was talking about how Dragon UAP are hard to accept.
Yes.
This is now one step even further.
Even further. So I totally get it. If this is too hard, I totally get it. He had at the auditorium at and he named the name of the show was KGB Radio. KGB Radio. And that would go over everyone's head. It went over my head until I just critical thinking figured it out. So he was in the Air Force, 1948, 1952 in Iceland Air Force. That what they do there, they pick up code messaging. In other words, when spies on the East Coast, New York, Florida, and they send messages back to Russia or China. It flies over Iceland. Well, the only problem with that is Glenn worked there from 1948 to 52. So the code department would say, hey, Glenn, on this blank piece of paper, we intercepted a code at 3 o'clock in the morning. He goes, can you tell us anything about it? So he'd go, okay, just give me the paper. All it said was 3 o'clock on it. Give me the paper. He'd close his eyes. He'd read the whole message. The whole message. You know, General so-and-so in Russia is going to transport 100 tanks north of Moscow. The objective, this is the name of the operation. This is what they're going to do, etc. So the whole point is, and he did that for years and years and years. And if you go back, you check with AI, you will find America and the UK arrested an unusual amount of spies, more than the average. The average is about 2 every 10 years. Check with AI. That wasn't a coincidence. So what Glenn did was 25 years later, remember, he was in the Air Force from 48 to 52. He's doing the radio show in 74. So 25 years later, he's not bragging, but he's like, if you're smart enough to figure this out somewhere in the future, KGB radio, he's telling the KGB Russians, because KGB is the FBI in Russia, the spy department, the CIA.
Yeah.
He's telling Russia, that was me. I arrested all your spies. Because I know they went crazy. How did the UK, how did the Americans crack our code? How did they do that? And Glenn is saying, 50 years ago, Glenn is saying, that was me. So that's the level this guy's on and why he deserves attention. So anything, just anything, this point going forward, if this guy sneezes and it says, God bless you, you need to analyze that. Nothing's random. Just nothing's random. So yeah, I've studied, I know a lot. And I don't even, I'm not even sure where to begin here. This is just mind-boggling.
Let's talk about Palomar.
Okay,
That's
geez.
crazy. That's
This is
crazy.
crazy. This is crazy. Okay, going back to 48 to, he was in the Air Force from 48 to 52. He gets discharged out of the Air Force 1952. They fly him to Andrews Air Force Base. That's in Washington, D.C. This is important. While he is at Andrews Air Force Base waiting for his discharge papers, because he's there for like 2 or 3 weeks, they just don't give it to you right there and you leave. It takes some time to process. He says to me, hey, Robert, remember when the UFOs flew over Andrews Air Force Base in July of 1952 or Washington, D.C., July 1952? I go, yeah, Glenn, I do. It's funny. How do you know about that? I know about it, but how do you know about that? He goes, oh, I was there. You were there? You saw the flying saucers? Yeah, I was there. And obviously, he's telling me, and this is hard to take in, but what Glenn was telling me, those 7 UFO saucers that they recorded, they weren't there to say hello to the Pentagon or say hello to the president. They were there to say hello to Glenn. This is the level he was on. Out of respect, they were saying hello to Glenn. So God only knows when he was in Iceland, how many UFOs were always flying over the base there. We don't have access to that. Maybe in the future, when disclosure is really open, we will ask the Pentagon to release all those UFO sightings in Iceland in the 1950s. But it gets, so this is where we're going to start to time travel back and forth. So Glenn's there, 1952, those 7 UFOs were there, July, they were there for 17 days. And he tells me they were there. He was there, which is nuts. Like, that's crazy. You have to be a time traveler to accidentally be there. Like you'd have to be a time traveler to accidentally be at 9/11 and to be at any major event, like Pearl Harbor and 9/11. That would be weird if you were at Pearl Harbor and 9/11. That'd be suspicious. It's possible, but it would be odd. Well, he's there on 1952. Okay, this is where it gets hard. This is really, fortunately, because we have the tapes, I was able to back engineer, a lot engineer, thinking. So on the tapes, he says, you know what, today we're not going to do any phone calls. We're going to do an experiment. We're going to do an experiment on the fourth dimension. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. The fourth dimension, that's time. How are you going to do an experiment on the radio about time? What does that look like? And this is where a lot of you are going to get upset right now. I'm not trying to get you upset. Glenn goes, of course, the fourth dimension being sound. Okay, let's put that on pause. So right now, if you Google, just out of fairness, that was 50 years ago. Just out of fairness, has any scientist done experiments on the fourth dimension and sound? Could Glenn be a little bit right? Yes, the scientists at the University of Missouri are doing an experiment on sound. They're not calling it the fourth dimension. They're calling it a synthetic fourth dimension. So they're covering their butts. That's fair. But the research has started. And of course, how did Glenn 50 years ago know? And I know you're not going to just take this in and accept it that the fourth dimension is sound. But I wouldn't go against this guy. I would not bet against Glenn.
Well, I mean, hang on. We've got the recording, and I'm going to play it in a minute over this interview. But he said that the fourth dimension is sound 50 years ago. That's in stone. He said that. So any research that's been done to this present day or recently regarding sound and the fourth dimension, if there's any clout to it, well, hasn't Glenn stated that 50 years ago, having done zero research into it?
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And he said, of course, being the fourth dimension is sound, like it was common knowledge.
Yeah. Like he already knew, right? It's
He
like
already...
to work that out, you would have to study a lifetime, surely.
Surely. And then if you're lucky,
Yeah.
surely. So I get it. Some of you scientists are watching right now. You're going, okay, Robert, no, this is too much. This cannot be happening. I'll give you a little credit on the UFO dragons. Okay, you got that right by some miracle. But you're 100% wrong on the sound. I'm just repeating what I'm seeing here. So on the radio show, thank God he has the record. I shared it with you. And he goes, okay, we're going to play Time in a Bottle. We're just going to play the instruments, and then we're going to see what happens. We're going to see if we can make time stop. He said it would be nice. We're moving in this. Time is going by so fast in 1974. Time's going by. So wouldn't it be nice if we just make it stop as an experiment? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. It'd be nice. I know I'd like to stop the clock. This is ridiculous. We're in 2026. Ridiculous. So he plays Time in a Bottle, just the instruments only. And he goes, okay, take the calls in. Because you're probably thinking like, wait a minute, what's this got to do with Mount Palomar? What's this got to do with the UFOs in 1952? Okay, here we go. Here we go, everyone. So in 1952, Mount Palomar Observatory in San Diego took a picture of those 7 UFOs coming to Earth. They have the pictures. They're online. You could see them before and after. They were only taking pictures of looking for meteors, asteroids, before and after.
Sorry, Doc, I'm just going to intervene. I do believe this is the same observatory that Dr. Beatrice Villarreal is talking about regarding the transients that were found in the early 50s before Sputnik, right?
Correct, 100%.
And she's claiming 100,000 plus transients in our atmosphere that must have been reflecting light from the sun, must have been solid and possibly even metallic before Sputnik. Right.
That's right. Now, is it a coincidence? But the Mount Palomar, so in 1952, took pictures of these things, and then these 7 UFOs show up over Washington, D.C. a few days later. Oh, and Glenn happens to be there, like this.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no coincidences that happen like that.
Okay, it gets harder, as you know now. Now it gets harder. 1974, 25 years later, Glenn goes, okay, let's do an experiment on the fourth dimension sound. Okay, I'm going to play Time in a Bottle, and then I want you to call in and tell me what's going on. And you're going to play this. And then I want you to actually, maybe after the show or insert it, play this, because what's going on is the gift, the magic that Glenn had when he played Time in a Bottle, in my opinion, whatever that magic frequency is, it's not dead, it's repeatable. So he played this, and people called in, or people in the audience were like, Glenn, the keys in my pocket are hot and they're bending. My purse is levitating. I had something dematerialize here. People call in and say, Glenn, the antennas on my TV, back then we had rabbit ears antennas, the shape of a V. You would pull them out like telescopic. Yeah, look it up. It's kind of retro. He said, my rabbit ears are bending. Oh, and he even said, well, I did this experiment before. Please, if you're in your car, pull over, because this guy was driving and his axle bent and he couldn't drive his car. It was a problem. So please pull over. Don't listen to this. And your axle bent. It's nuts. It's just nuts. We have it all. You have it all on tape. But the cherry on the cake, on the ice cream on the cake, a guy calls in, the security guard at Mount Palomar Observatory. He called in. Hey, Glenn, I was listening to you on my little transistor radio, and I want you to know, right when you played Time in a Bottle, the clock at the observatory, the main chronometer, broke. It's not working. And I think the Navy uses that to synchronize time. So that was July 30th, 1974, Mount Palomar. The clock broke. He goes, I just want to let you know. And the security guard, I think his name was Joe Makarov. I have emailed
Wow.
Mount Palomar. I said, look, I will pay for the research. What happened to your clock? I want to know exactly. Did the gears bent? Most likely something bent. The electronic mechanical gears, they bent and stopped working. I want to know, can you document it? I'll pay for the research, okay? Don't do it for free. I'll pay you for the research. But that was 50 years ago. I don't know if they, how do you find a receipt from 50 years ago? I would assume they put it in a box, put it in the basement, but I'm not getting an answer back. Maybe this astronomer Beatrice has a little bit more pull. Maybe she could reach out to Mount Palomar and say, look, you need to find those repair papers. What happened? Because there's strong evidence the fourth dimension, being sound, caused that clock to malfunction. And we need to study the broken parts. If we can study the broken parts, we can understand what this fourth dimensional sound technology is. Glenn is trying to help us here. So I know that's a tall order. But by the way, so Robert, when you play this, if they're driving a car, tell them to pull over. They should be sitting down, not operating any kind of mechanical equipment. And if something happens, have them call you. Did something levitate? Did it materialize? Did it dematerialize? Did some spoons bend? Oh, go get a broken watch. Go get a couple of broken watches. Put it in front of you. Let's rerun the test 50 years later.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do it. So Mount Palomar, that's a real interesting one. I have, in fact, if anyone out there knows someone who worked at Palomar in 1974, or if you worked at Mount Palomar in 1974, or you know someone who may be able to pull that information out, leave a comment, because we would be very interested to know. I have already messaged Beatrice Villarreal. But like I say, she's very she's busy and very selective with what she replies to. So um, the chances of me getting an actual response from her on this straight away is very slim. But I have
Yeah.
already asked Doc, so who knows?
Okay.
Maybe we'll get a response. Maybe she'll see this. I will tag her. Hopefully she'll see it. But yeah, guys, I'll leave you with more clips from Glenn at the end because there's so much. There's audio from uh, the radio shows that he was doing, and his audience were absolutely gobsmacked every single time. Like you say, from reading social security numbers,
Your home phone.
home phone numbers, birthdays, everything. He just knew everything, and it didn't take him long. You could see he had the blindfold on as well. He performed some stuff. He got his wife involved as well. Just tell us about that.
Yeah, well, he married her, and then after 10 years, taught her to be telepathic. So it is teachable. It is teachable. They were involved, and it is on YouTube. It's something called the Spirit Cabinet. The Spirit Cabinet is freaky. It is real paranormal, real 100% real paranormal activity. Where basically she sits in there and they tie her up like a mummy, just really like with 100 feet of rope. It's nuts. It has to do with dematerialization. They tie her up, they close the curtain, pots and pans, instruments, harmonicas, you can hear them playing. They open her, she's just tied like this, she can't move. They close. They ask for somebody in the audience. They go, "Hey, can I have your jacket?" They take the guy's jacket, like this. And they close the curtain and they throw it. And they open the curtain 3 seconds later. And she's wearing the jacket under the ropes. Under the ropes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's literally impossible. That's impossible. And I know this. I know them personally.
Around the turn of the century, a very famous magician named Willard the Wizard toured the southern part of the United States in his own tent show. And in that show, he featured the Spirit Cabinet, which was to become a classic of magic. In early years, the medium was his wife, Joy. She died in 1953, and then he trained his daughter in mediumship, Frances Willard. Frances brings with her some cotton cloth, and I'm going to give each of you gentlemen a piece of cloth. There's a piece for you, sir, and here's a piece for you. And now, Frances, would you please put out your wrists? I'll take your piece of cloth, and would you do as I do on the other side, please? Just bring the cotton cloth up and make 2 knots, if you will. And would you make the knots for me, please? Yes, just make 2 knots and make them nice and tight. All right? A little tighter than that. Yeah, don't be afraid of cutting off circulation. All right, good. All right, let me just pull that for you. Very good. All right. Now, behind your back, please, Frances. Now, would you step over here, please, and would you just watch over my shoulder? I'm going to make 2 more knots. Again, as tight as the knots that you made. All right, let me make a locking knot onto this. And now, I'd like a piece long enough so that we may nail this to the board a little bit later on. We'll take this about like that and put a knot right about there. All right, let's put one more around her neck. And I'd like you, sir, to make 2 knots. Yes, right there, but not quite as tight as you made the first knot, all right? And make a locking knot on it, please. All right, you can make that tight. I don't want her to be able to slip it over her head, but I do want her to breathe. All right, that's fine. And now, Frances, would you please step inside of the cabinet, please? And I'll ask our gentlemen friends to walk around the rear of the cabinet, because in this bucket, you'll find some hammers and some nails. And I'd like each of you to take a hammer, please, and some nails. Okay? And put some nails in the cotton cloth. Please put a nail here, and would you, sir, put a nail over on this side? Now, we do have a camera from the back so that they can watch you putting nails in. All right, good. And all the way in, please. And a nail over here. Very good. Put lots of nails in. Good. And a nail over on this side, please. All right. Make sure there is no way that she can escape so that the camera in the back can see. All right, that's fine. You just put the hammers and nails back. Let's just put them on the floor. All right? Now, on the stage, we have 2 chairs, and I'm going to ask our gentlemen to sit on those chairs. Just sit right down. You'll notice those chairs are strategically placed so that you can see that no one either enters or leaves that cabinet, especially from the rear. And now, it will be necessary to mesmerize the lady. Francis, I want you to sleep. Your eyes are getting heavy. They're getting heavy. I want you to sleep. Good. Into the cabinet, I'm going to place some objects, some bells, some tambourines. Good. And now, let me pull down the curtain, and I'd like you to watch closely, because many people say that they see spirits at the top of the cabinet. Let's see if we can make some spirit contact. Spirits, are you there? Watch the top of the cabinet. Gentlemen, walk in that cabinet, please. Just walk right in, very quickly. Walk right in. Make sure that she's still tied, still nailed to the board, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking perhaps there is some way for Frances to make these manifestations herself. It's not so, and I'm going to prove it, because I'm going to ask one of these gentlemen to sit in that cabinet and hold the lady. No, not you, sir. Would you like to sit in that cabinet? Okay, good. Let me take this chair, place the chair right inside. All right? Now, sit right in and face the back wall, please. All right. Now, to make sure that Frances is not moving or making any motion at all, I'd like you to take your right hand and put it on the lady's head, please. Nice and firmly. Her left hand now on the lady's... Wait a minute. This might be a little better. All right, good. Are you nervous? A little bit. I don't blame him. I'd better blindfold him. You know, if he were to see something and it were to frighten him, he just might hurt himself running from that cabinet. All right, let me just place this around your eyes. Very good. Okay, now, let's see if we can make some spirit contact. Spirits, are you there? My goodness. All right, let me just... Would you just... Just stand. My goodness. Let's give a nice hand to this gentleman. You all right? Okay, good. Why don't you just step right out here, please? Oh, you're right. Sit right down here. Okay. May I borrow your jacket? Yes, please. Thank you very much. Let's pull this down. Okay, and we'll pull this right out of the way. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Now, watch this. Spirits, take the coat. Be quick. You're going to see something you're not going to believe. Gentlemen, would you walk in that cabinet, please? Check the jacket. Go, walk right in. Make sure you can't get that jacket off. No way possible. Make sure the wrists are still tied, still nailed to the board. Neck tied, nailed to the board, are they? Thank you very much, gentlemen. Take your seats, please. Now, watch this. Spirits, take that coat. Be quick. There we go. Up. ladies and gentlemen, Francis Willis. Jack, please. Walk right in there, Jack. Walk right in. Good. Okay? Let me just lift this up all the way around. Make sure that she's still tied, still nailed to the board. All right, check those hands thoroughly. I'm going to cut her free right here. Let's just snip this, all right? And snip this side. Now look at the neck. See, the neck is still tied, still nailed. Let me just snip this away. Good. Now, would you stand on this side? Would you, sir, stand on this side? Because I'm going to count 3, and we're going to wake Francis up. Francis, 1, 2, wake up, please. Good. There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Francis Willis.
I know them personally. So it isn't something you teach. It was just some type of repeatable science. Because I had them, I was in the spirit cabinet, and then I even had them do it twice. It's real, it's the real deal. It's the dematerialization of matter. But you don't feel it. I'm like, okay, because I'm standing in this hula hoop with a curtain on it. And the wife's standing behind me, and she's all tied up. And she goes, okay, are you ready? We're going to do this. And I'm wearing my coat. And she goes, okay, I'm going to take your coat off. I'm going to put it on. It's like, no, you're not. You're all tied up. No, you're not. And 5 seconds later, they lower the curtain, and she's wearing my coat under the ropes. I didn't feel anything. So this dematerialization, you don't even feel it. You don't feel a tingle. You don't feel a small current, electric shock. It's not even I was there twice. And you can see it on video over and over. And it gets even more technical. There was a researcher in the UK. I'll show you the video. He put a camera down in the spirit cabinet, and the person like went crazy.
Wow.
The person went crazy. I'll show it, and you decide if you want to.
Sure.
It could if you have to be blindfolded when you do the spirit cabinet. You can't do it with your eyes open, because things are going to happen that you're not going to understand. But it's not an evil science. I'm just saying it's just science. It's like a microwave oven. If you were to go back to 1900, because they had electricity in 1900, you could plug your microwave oven in, and it would boil water. And people go, oh my God, this is evil. It's making things hot. And it's straightforward science. And by the way, in the future, once we understand this UFO ion technology, and I'm thinking about this for the last 40 years. Once we understand their technology, this is the fun part. We will have technology that will do the opposite of a microwave oven. You put a glass of water in, and 2 minutes later, you have ice cubes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. Or
It's
something
coming.
maybe we can turn liquid into something more solid that will be something that we're going to use that's not edible, or something we're going to freeze. Maybe, a material that we can use for something else. It's incredible stuff. Incredible future. Amazing time to be alive,
It is.
actually.
It will be digital ice, basically, because the technology we have now, brand new refrigerators, home air conditionings, that's technology from like 1910. It's old. It's just, no matter how new the paint is, it's old technology. It's very analog. It's noisy, inefficient. We'll be able, with UFO technology, like I said, we're going to have a microwave refrigerator. Like I said, you put your ice cubes in, 2 minutes later, water. It's going to be fun. This is the payoff. This is what I'm talking about. This is the payoff. This is where we're going. But
I also get the feeling, Doc, that we may have answered our own question that we haven't asked yet, but we are always asking. So you're always asking what the Dragon UAP are doing. You're always asking what they're up to, what they're really doing, what they're reconning. Maybe, just maybe, given the fact that you know that people like Glenn, at least Glenn did exist, Um, given the fact that there are people out there with that sort of ability, maybe these UAP are looking for people like Glenn.
I'm sure they easily can find them. Well, yeah, because Glenn actually in 1995, looking back, I've said no to a lot of really great offers. I don't even know why I said no. Looking, one of those offers is Glenn says, "Hey, you know what, Robert? If you like UFOs, let's go to Palmdale, California, where Edwards Air Force Base is. It's the desert, Edwards Air Force Base. I'll ask them to fly by. You want to do that?" I go, "No, Glenn, I'm busy. I'm running the pharmacy. I don't have time." Big mistake. I can tell you, I know it was knowing Glenn, yeah, we wouldn't have had a couple of meteors fly by. We would have had some real UFOs fly right up to us and hover. Yeah, that's what I said no to. But Glenn did, he did cash in. He never took it off the table. And I did cash in on that offer. And he gave me a video on YouTube, and that's the Palmdale Blue Angel video that
Right.
I found, accidentally found. He did that. He put it together. The best UFO video probably out there. Yeah. And then, so do you understand the Mount Palomar, how Mount Palomar took pictures of these UFOs in 1952, and then he does this sound experiment 25 years later, and the security guard from Mount Palomar calls Glenn. Don't you think that's an odd coincidence?
It really is. It really is. It's so strange, Doc. And if any higher intelligence is going to be looking for anyone on the planet, they're going to be looking for people like Glenn.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
didn't know Glenn, but I do know we're not alone. And that's
Well,
where
maybe, Robert, in one of the future shows, we can invite him in. Now, I know some people are uncomfortable. It's like, well, I don't want to communicate with the dead, but this is not that. We're talking about a very gifted spiritual entity. If enough people like, hey, Glenn, if you're if you're if you're real, hey, can you do this? Can you make a sound? Make can you do? And actually, we did do that on another radio show 3 years ago. It was a small radio show, and the host, like yourself, she let out a scream. She said, "There was a flash of light in my room just now. Did you see it?" She was freaking out. She was,
wow.
yeah. So in other words, Glenn could do this. I think he'll do that. I mean, he doesn't walk away from a challenge. So just think about it. Do the radio experiment, time in a bottle. Here, one more impossible coincidence. So I said, Glenn, you ever known anyone else that's telepathic like yourself? And he goes, actually, yeah. I said, whoa, what are you talking about? You know somebody that was telepathic? He goes, yeah. Who was it? And he got really nervous for the first time ever. Didn't want to tell me. And Glenn would tell you the lotto numbers, tomorrow's news, tomorrow's horse race, and he did. I mean, I'll send you the audio tapes.
This is now him maybe compromising someone else, though, right?
Yeah, yeah. Which it really concerns me because I don't want to be the guy that screws things up in a timeline. But he goes, yeah, this guy. I said, who was he? He goes, well, he's a time traveler. I said, oh my God, you got to tell me everything about him. Well, I don't want to tell you about him, Robert. Something. So what did he?
There's a sweet. Take it away.
So he told me his name. I won't repeat his name because I don't want to. But the point is, I'm going somewhere. I said, what's he doing? He says, oh, he was specific. I'll keep it general. He says he's doing research on one of the framers, the founding fathers, one of the framers. Oh, he is? Yeah. I just found out a few months ago, the first person ever to file a UFO report in the government was Thomas Jefferson.
Really?
1800.
Wow.
Yeah, 226 years ago. I'm like, is this a coincidence? Glenn's
I
friends with a
mean,
time traveler doing research. And one of the first UFO reports is Thomas Jefferson. Now, I never said the time traveler was doing research on Thomas Jefferson. I never said that.
how much of a coincidence is that? That's like the Tesla connection, you know? Wow. I've
That's a
got to
lot of
get you.
information.
Yeah. It's a lot. I'm going to have to get you back on maybe at some point. But I really just wanted to get this out there to start off the year. Give everyone an update, give everyone your thoughts on everything that's been going on over the last year. And we only really scraped the barrel. But thank you so much for your time, Doc. Honestly, it's been amazing. I think people are really going to find that story interesting. We've got lots of recording. I hope people, if you had a reaction, guys, from the recording, I've already played it by now. Please let us know in the comments because it would mean a hell of a
Please.
lot to Doc if anything did come from it.
Please. And then you can, if nothing happens, you can re-listen. Go get a broken watch, go get a spoon, anything. You can re-listen to it because in theory, that magic, whatever science we're dealing with, is repeatable.
Wow, what a fantastic audience, and welcome to the Glenn Falkenstein Show, live from beautiful Universal Studios. We've got, I must say that the balcony is filled again today to capacity. We've got every seat on the main floor and at least 600-700 people behind a glass wall just trying to get in. Of course, they can hear us out there, and I'm awfully sorry, but the ushers will be bringing you chairs in just about 5 minutes. We have a team of tour guides that are rushing over to the tour center, and they'll be putting up chairs for you. This is such a fantastic day, and I'm picking up such fantastic vibrations from this audience. For instance, I'm picking up a letter or initial L from somewhere on this side of the theater, an L and a D, like a Louise. Is there oh, there she is, right up here in the 60th row, on the right-hand side. Come on down to the microphone. There are two on the main floor. One on the 13th row, one at the 50th row, and there she is. And do we know each other?
No.
Never met. Good. Is it Deal?
That's right.
All right. Good. What is the number? And I'm picking up some very interesting vibrations from you. I'm getting a 3. I'm getting a 3, followed by a 5 and a 1. What does that mean to you?
That's my house address.
Your house address. All right. Concentrate on the street. I'm not going to give the street. Just the letter, or first letter. Is it a B? It is.
That's right.
Okay, good. Born in California, native Californian, is that right? From San Diego. Mm-hmm. From San Diego, that's yes. Right. Born, I think, in August. Mm-hmm. All right, your birthday's coming up. Concentrate on the day. Is it the 27th or 28th?
28th.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Before I bring out my guest, I'm going to blindfold myself very quickly and see if I can't pick up something else about some of the people in the audience. All right, let me see if I can't call off some names and birthdays. For instance, is there I'm getting a T or a P or a L. That's interesting. A B like or a R like a Rhoda. Where is Rhoda or Renda out there? An M like a Miller. Where are you? Renda Miller. Where are you?
Right
yes,
there.
come on up to the microphone. Good. She's over on the left-hand side, and let's see, that's about the 16th row, and she has to work her way down in front. Do we know each other?
No.
Never met. Okay. No. It is Miller, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. Are you, you're an Aquarian.
Uh-huh.
Yes, born in February. I thought so. Is it the 3rd or 4th?
The 4th.
The 4th. Okay. I'll try. There are several things that you're concentrating on. Are you married?
No.
No. Well, there's an engagement. I'm picking up. Is there one special person that you had in mind? Because it's going to happen around Christmas time of this year. Are you a student?
No.
Well, I can see, maybe he's in school right now, because I can see a school. In fact, I'm getting USC, and I don't know why I'm picking that up. I can see something very definitely happening around Christmas time of this year. Now, we've never met, have we?
No.
Would you concentrate on your mother's maiden name? Good.
Okay.
Are you concentrating on the letter T?
Mm-hmm.
You are. Is it Taylor?
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Wow. Is there an initial S like a Sherry out here? A Sherry and P, a Sherry P. Where are you, Sherry? Oh, good. Come on down to the microphone. And she's way over on the, again on the left-hand side of the theater. And do we know each other?
No.
Never met. All right. A very interesting last name. I'm getting a P, a Pfaffenberg. Am I close?
Close.
Almost as tough as my name, isn't it?
Pfaffenberg.
Pfaffenberg. All right. Now, picking up some thoughts. Are you from the north? From California, but Northern California. Are you just visiting here?
Mm-hmm.
You are from San Francisco.
Right.
Yes, I thought so. And you're having a lovely trip. It's a good deal warmer than it is in San Francisco. I can see you in some form of service. Do you serve people?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, good. I picked that up, and you're an excellent. You're excellent at what you do. You are a waitress, but a special kind of waitress.
Yes.
Yes, a cocktail waitress.
Right.
All right. Good. And you're concentrating on a question now. You want me to project something in the. Something in the future, and I'll try. My answer is south, because I can see a definite move south within a 5-year period. In fact, I can see you around here, along the beach. I think that you prefer being a little warmer, and yes, you're nodding your head yes, and I can see a beautiful job. Are you married?
Yes.
All right. I can see you both coming down here and living one of the beach cities. Who's Shirley?
My aunt.
Oh, your aunt. I was picking that up, too, and thank you very much.
You.
Thank you. Thank you. How have you been, Hal?
Fine, thank you.
Oh, good.
I've been listening to your show, and you're doing pretty well.
Oh, we've had some fantastic, terrific shows. At least the response has been just great. The last show, we specialized in what did we do? We bent spoons the last time. We passed spoons out to the audience, and we asked people at home to take spoons and to just rub them. And we found that people called. Now look at my telephone, and I'm going to have to remind the people, because we're going to be doing an experiment in about 5 minutes. And I'm going to ask you at home not to call. I'm sorry that if you've gotten through, but if you'll hang up, because we're not going to be doing readings this first hour. I will be doing readings the last half hour, so you'll have to hang up your phones, and because we just won't have room for the experiment if you're on the phone. In just about 2 minutes, I'm going to ask Reese to knock off all of those phones if you're on the phone, because no readings. We are going to be doing an experiment, though, in just about 5 minutes. And we talked a little bit about it the last time you were here. I thought that we were going to spend a little time in the fourth dimension, and the fourth dimension, of course, being sound. And I asked you at home if you had a broken watch. Perhaps we could start that watch for you. I asked some people here in the audience, and let's see a raise of hands. Anyone bring a broken watch? All right, we have 2, 3, 4 people in the audience that have brought some watches. And we're going to try to have an experiment now in the fourth dimension and see if we can't start some of those watches by using a little bit of concentration. And you at home, if you have a watch that you would like to see if we can start, or perhaps a watch that you would like to see us break or stop. Why, perhaps we can stop a watch there at home. Or if you just want to take a spoon, perhaps we can bend a spoon for you. Or maybe materialize or dematerialize some kind of an object at home. So try this experiment along with us, and this will be in just about 3 or 4 minutes. So Reese, now will you just hang up on all the phones and don't call in until the last half hour of the show. I will do readings the last half hour, and I'll be doing readings with the audience the last half hour. So this experiment will work this way. I think I have a kind of a magic record. Roger Williams was my guest about 3 Sundays ago. And Roger, this is what inspired me for this particular experiment. He has made a new record, and I don't know, Reese has the record in the control room. And one of the cuts on that record is Time in a Bottle. This is his new album. And listening to this record at home, I just got the idea of using this record as a kind of a mystical record to making or putting time in a bottle, stopping time, maybe for 1 minute or for 2 minutes, and seeing if we can kind of slow down this mad, fast pace that we're in. How does that sound to you, Hal? Are we treading dangerous ground?
Oh, I don't think so.
Has anything happened like this? Have you written about anyone that could stop time?
I knew a young woman whose face could stop a clock.
Okay. But
the only thing I was reading not too long ago about the Russians, who have an interesting theory that they consider time to be a form of energy, which is a very interesting thought. And we'll have to go into that sometime.
Yeah. Well,
but, I'll leave you with that to confuse you, Glenn.
Okay. But then, all right. So we have half of the phones knocked off. We're going to have to knock off the other half too. Okay. Now that all of the phones are knocked off, we're going to ask you in the audience now, and we're going to ask you at home to take a watch. Or a spoon, if you will, or any kind of an object if you want to try to move an object while we're playing this song, Time in a Bottle, by Roger Williams, and see if you can actually, by concentrating on your watch or a spoon or what have you, see if you can't stop it, or for that matter, start the clock. Are you ready to get into this experiment? Okay, all my phones are knocked off, or most of them. And so, Reese, why don't you play Time in a Bottle? All right, you're listening to the Glenn Falkenstein Show, and you can hear a hush has just come over this audience. My watch has stopped at exactly 25, about 24, 25 after. And we had, all right, is your watch stopped? All right, we've got one people to bring watches that weren't running. And we have one watch that has started to run now in the audience. Come on up to the microphone. Just come on up to the microphone. That's interesting. And I hope that, now if you had something happen to you your name, sir?
Ralph Colciano.
Yes, and your watch...
My daughter gave me this watch. Her boyfriend gave it to her and told her to have it fixed. So I happened to be coming here and suggested that I bring it along.
Isn't that fantastic? Thank you very much. Let's hear it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, what happened over here? My
watch stopped.
It stopped. My watch stopped too, and yes.
Our watch moved.
Oh, your watch, come on up here. Come on up and tell me what happened. All right.
We put a watch down, and we both concentrated on it, and we said we were working on moving the watch, because I didn't want it to be broken. So it moved.
It actually moved. Isn't
the entire watch
the whole
itself?
Watch moved.
Isn't that interesting? And look at my phones. My phones are all lighting up now, and we've got several more people in the audience. Yes, there's someone right back there. What happened?
Yeah, I was concentrating on my wallet, and all of a sudden my wallet started to bend.
Your what started? Your leather wallet actually started, and your name is. You come on up to the microphone and tell us what happened, because we're opening up the telephones now. Number is 520-KGBS. Go ahead.
I was holding the wallet on my hand, and all of a sudden I felt it starting to bend upward.
Isn't that interesting? It actually got some
upward.
got some movement into it.
I was holding on my hand flat, and it started to go like this.
That's interesting. Actually, by itself. Actually, we'd call that a form of levitation. And what happened here? What? It stopped. All right, here's somebody up to. All right, here's.
It actually stopped. I can't seem to start it.
It actually stopped. Let's see if we can get it going.
Sometimes it works.
I don't know what. I don't know if it. Let's see if we can't get it running by the end of the show. There. Wait a minute. It's starting to run. It's starting to run now. It's starting to run now.
Yeah.
See it? It's starting to run now.
Sometimes it.
It's starting to, the second hand, is the second hand going?
Yeah.
Listen, it's going now. Well, thank you. All right.
There you go.
Thank you. Wow. And look at my telephone lines. The telephone number is 520-KGBS, and indeed, that was a magic record. And I want to thank Roger Williams for sending that record over. All right. Now, if something happened to you, if your clock stopped or if your clock started, why, we're going to be taking phone calls at 520-KGBS. But first, we're going to take a short break.
What has Sheraton done for you lately? What has Sheraton done for you now?
Sheraton has tamed the Wild West with some of the most friendly, relaxing hotels around. So next time you say, California, here I come to Sheraton.
What has Sheraton done for you lately?
You can enjoy the world-famous Sheraton Palace in San Francisco and more great Sheraton hotels in San Diego, Los Angeles, and Hollywood. For a reservation at any Sheraton in the world, call 800-325-3535 or have your travel agent call. That's 800-325-3535.
That's what Sheraton done for you lately. That's what Sheraton done for you now.
Sheraton Hotels and Motor Inns, worldwide.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you. And someone just brought this watch up to me right here in the audience, and you say that this watch just stopped. It stopped at the same time that my watch stopped, at exactly 6:28. But look at my watch now, Hal. My watch is going automatically, and I don't know. This watch isn't running. All right, see, hold on. Now, tell your name. Go right up here and tell what happened. Your name is what?
Dale Shepard.
And what happened?
Well, when I was sitting there and you asked everybody if it stopped, mine was still running.
It was?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it just stopped.
That's interesting. All right, hold on to it and see if it starts running again. Okay. Just take it back. You can take it back to your seat. Maybe during the show it'll actually start again. Okay, at least we hope so. All right. And look at my telephones. My telephones are all lit up. The telephone number is 520-KGBS. KGBS, Los Angeles. This is the Glenn Falkenstein Show. And let's see if we can't punch in another call right now. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. I have a Mickey Mouse watch.
All right, a Mickey Mouse watch, all right? And it really is a Mickey Mouse watch.
A real Mickey Mouse watch that my boyfriend gave to me.
Uh-huh.
And it quit working. I've been really upset. He doesn't know about it.
All right.
I concentrated on it.
Uh-huh.
And his little arms just really started going around.
Fantastic. And nothing like that ever happened to that watch before?
No, it was broken. It was, laying in the bottom of my drawer. So I ran in and I got it really fast.
Well, thank you very much for your call. Thank you. Wow, what do you think of that, Hal? And look at the phones. They're all lit up. All my lines are lit. You're listening to the Glenn Falkenstein Show live from Universal Studios. And let's take another call right now and see on this line right here. All right, hello?
Yeah, hello. My name's Walter Rice.
Yeah, well, just your first name is fine. Just your first name.
Yeah, Walter.
Walter, okay. Walter, this is Glenn Falkenstein. You're talking to Hal Jacks.
Well, great. No, I'm just sitting home here and just sitting in the living room watching and listening to the program here. And I got a great big grandfather clock stands in the corner.
Uh-huh.
And the thing has been kind of out of kilter since the earthquake up in there in 1971 in Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
And the darn thing is just sort of smoothed out and is running real smooth now. So I don't know what the heck's going on, but your comments about clocks and watches certainly seems to have done something.
Well, at least we started one watch anyway, and thank you very much for your call, sir. Thank you. Wow, how about that? Well, at least we're doing some good. I hope that ladies watching the audience has it started yet? All right. What? Somebody has a spoon or something? All right. Somebody has a knife. Is it bent a little bit? All right, somebody has a knife and that bent in the audience. Okay, you should have heard that last show. That was 3 Fridays ago with the bending of the object. All right, let's take another call. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, this is the Glenn Falkenstein Show, and you're talking to Glenn Falkenstein and Hal Jacks.
Well, hello. My name is Eunice Smith, and I've never heard of Glenn Falkenstein before, but my family and I are sitting here having dinner, and they were telling me about rubbing this spoon, and I started rubbing the spoon, and it actually bit in my hand, and I can't believe it.
Wow. Go ahead, Hal, take it.
I'm as astonished as she is, because we started out to work with watches and we're ending up with all sorts of things. It merely goes to prove the power of thought energy.
Yeah,
it's a form of thought energy, as they say. It's called psychokinesis, where people have actually been known to move all sorts of objects, even when they've had a plate glass window between them. This is not new, but to do it over the radio, this is really amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and thank you very much for your call.
Thank you. I just don't understand what happened, but I can't believe it, but it really worked.
Well, thank you, and come on down to the studio, and we'll try it again in a few weeks and see what happens. We'll think of, maybe we'll try materialization and make things move. You never know. Okay, thank you for your call. Bye-bye. Hello? Yes, this is the Glenn Falkenstein Show.
This is Chris.
Hi, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah. We're sitting here watching a game, and my sisters were playing a game, and all of a sudden it moved positions.
What moved in a position?
The game board.
Oh, the game board. It actually moved, and you were listening to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Go ahead, Jeff.
What sort of a game was it?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. I guess you'll have to talk into the.
What sort of a game was it?
Okay, it was sort of like a spy game, and all of a sudden, my girlfriend's sister said, "Look," and it was it moved like about an inch or so, but you could tell it was up. It hit a flaw like in the carpeting, and it was up sort of at an angle, little angle. And it just shocked the heck out of all of us.
I was hoping for a minute, Glenn, it might have been a Ouija board or something.
Well, have you ever played with or experimented with a Ouija board?
No, but I was talking to Ann Miller, who did it for some years, and she won't touch it again. She claims that you pay for it. Really?
Yeah, I have a feeling about Ouija boards that it's a form of hypnosis, and you're actually moving it yourself. However, I've never experimented with moving a Ouija board by itself without touching it. That would be an interesting. Yes, that would be.
I think it could be done too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your call, and let's take the next one now. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Falkenstein.
Yes.
Pat W.
Yes.
Been down to see your show before, and my daughter and I, my two other girls and myself, I tried to have a watch start running, and my daughters had 2 spoons, and let me turn my radio down.
Okay, that would help. Yeah.
Anyway, my daughters had 2 spoons themselves, and they were regular spoons. And so my one daughter, nothing happened to him, and the other daughter, the spoon just bent miraculously. We couldn't believe it. And on the back of the spoon, where it had bent, it was kind of a dark place back there, where you could see that there was actually a bending of the spoon itself. And my daughters were just fantastically amazed, and so am I. I can't believe that it happened.
Go ahead, Al. All I can say is you'll just have to join the crowd.
Deborah, she said, I have goosebumps all over my arms. She said, this is just really not frightening or anything, but she said, I just can't believe it. And it's just fantastic. Unless a person really experiences something like this, they can listen to your show and everything, but to actually to have it happen right in your presence is just fantastic, and we just couldn't believe it. And so I wanted to call you and tell you that it actually did happen to us, and we really enjoy your show, and we listen every night, and we hope that you'll continue for many, many more weeks or years.
Well, thank you very much for your kind thoughts. Bye-bye. Wow, what a fantastic! And we're just look at the lines. The lines are all lit up there, and so many people are trying to get through. I suppose thousands of people are trying to get through right now. And your name? Hello, someone on the line. Hello, and this is what happens. This is line number 4, and that person probably dropped out. When we get such a terrific volume of calls, one call knocks off the next call. Let's try this line, Hal. Hello.
Hi, Glenn.
Yes, how are you? This is Glenn Falkenstein. You're talking to Hal Jacks.
Yes, I know who you are. I've been listening to you for quite a while now.
Well, thank you. Anything happened there?
Well, I took 2 alarm clocks and 2 watches.
Uh-huh.
One of them it's a skin diver watch. And it hadn't been around in about a year since we moved into our home here. And I called my friend. He's doing an experiment about 40 miles from here, and he said his didn't work. And it must have started it going when I laid it down, because it hadn't been wound. But I think you did it. Or we did it.
Well, thank you very much. What do you say about that, Hal?
You say you had quite a number of watches there. How many of them worked? Just the one?
Just the one.
Well,
and I had my other watch here. It didn't stop. But it's funny. This is the first one I picked up. It's the first one I thought of when I went in to get them. So I ran around the house collecting watches.
Well, it sure is interesting, and thank you very much for your call. Let's take another quick call. This is the Glenn Falkenstein Show. You're talking to Hal Jacks. He's starring here today.
Hello.
Hello.
Today, I got a watch too. My watch stopped too.
It stopped. What time did it stop?
6:45.
6:45. Well, it was a little fast because it's not quite 6:45 yet. But you say it did stop, and it was running. It was running while you were listening to the show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you think anything else around the house? Did anything else happen? And nothing else happened. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your call.
Sounds like a psychic watch.
Yes, it does. Well, this is a kind of an interesting. Look at the calls are just pouring in. Remember that I'm not doing readings until the second half hour. The third half hour. The show is in 3 parts today, and Hal has to leave at about 7 o'clock. And what do you think is going on here? Now, it's hard for me. For instance, let me put it this way. My thoughts about this whole subject. About 4 or 5 days ago, I had a woman in the audience that came down to see the show, and she was sitting in the back. And she said, Mr. Falkenstein, how do you explain the fact that my spoon bent the day that you and Hal Jacks were doing this experiment? And I said, what happened? She said, tell me the whole story, because I do about an hour after the show, and I talk to the audience. I said, tell me the whole story. What did you do? She said, well, she went to the drawer, she took a spoon, and she rubbed the spoon, and she was thrilled it bent. And when she thought it bent. And when she took it back to the drawer and examined it with the other spoons, she found that it didn't match the other spoons, and she was thrilled. She said, how do you explain something like that? And I said, Hal Jacks would explain it one way. You would, and what would you say?
Well, again, it comes back to thought energy, and this is something which definitely has been proven to exist, that the thought energy can be measured. And as I say, if you can move objects, and rather large objects, you certainly can bend the spoon.
Yeah. Now, here's the way I explained the way it might happen. Now, I don't know. I don't like to throw cold water on the whole thing. I said perhaps, and just perhaps, you took a spoon from your drawer, and it was bent to begin with. And you took that spoon and rubbed it, and then you noticed something about it, and when you examined the other spoons, you found that it was actually bent. You know, that it was bent, and you thought that I had done it or that thought energy had done it. Now, I don't...
no doubt, Glenn.
There's a
possibility. Of course, it's a possibility.
All right.
I mean, but then, people who are going to try the experiment should make sure that the spoon is a straight one and matches the other ones in the drawer.
Right, but if you just go to the drawer, you see, and grab a spoon, there's a possibility that spoon has been bent before. Right. A spiritualist would say that a spirit came down and actually actually bent the spoon.
I like to think that the spirits have other more important things to do.
but that's what a spiritualist would say, wouldn't they? So there's a number of explanations as to just how or what is happening. I don't know. Now, I'm setting up an experiment here, and we're taking telephone calls, and I'm thinking this, that perhaps, and it's great, all my phones are lit, and they're fantastic calls, and I think that something actually did happen, that all the people that are calling in are sincere, and that this did happen. But just suppose that there are 100,000 listeners out there that are listening to me. Now, just suppose that there are 100,000 people listening, and 1%, just 1% of the people, just 1%, had something strange happen during the time that we played this record. This record runs about 3 minutes. All right, so in a 3-minute span of time, suppose something happened. Suppose an airplane flew low, or suppose a big truck drove by, or suppose a window slammed shut. All right, then they'll call me and give me credit. Or maybe 1 or maybe 5 people out of 100,000, clock will stop. And perhaps the hands do look bent. Now, I don't know.
Glenn, back in the fall, we had a very well-known, gifted gentleman from Israel who was at the office of the Inquirer, and he tried these experiments of bending spoons and bending keys. And one of the spoons that he bent was left on his secretary's desk, and she recalled that it hadn't been bent too badly. And she looked back at the spoon after it had bent, that he had handled it, and the thing had bent almost in half. Even after he had put it down, it continued to bend by itself. Again, it's a form of energy, you see.
Right. Well, as you remember, my spoon actually broke in half.
And then you had a fork where all the tines went all different directions.
All of the tongues on the fork were all, and we had a metallurgist just in the audience that day, and he has that spoon. That would be interesting if he would get in touch with me. He wanted to examine that spoon underneath a microscope. But we're going to take a short break and be right back.